Today we're going to find the least common denominator of a set of fractions and write the like fractions. In order to find the least common denominator, we need to find the least common multiple of the denominators. Well, the quickest way to do that is to start with the larger denominator. In this case, the 4 is the larger denominator. So we will list its multiples until we get to one that 3 can go into evenly. So if we start with 4, 4 times 1 is 4, so that's its first multiple that we can use because we'll not use 0. 0 cannot be a denominator. So 3 cannot go into 4 evenly, so we go to our next multiple of 4. 4 times 2 is 8. 3 cannot go into 8 evenly. So we go to the next multiple of 4, which is 12. And all the multiples are the answers to the multiplication facts for 4. But like I mentioned a moment ago, we don't use 0, even though 0 is the first the first multiple, because we can't use a 0 as a denominator. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 4 times 3 is 12. And we'll keep listing these multiples until we get to one that 3 can go into evenly. We said 3 could not go into 4 evenly, 3 could not go into 8 evenly, so we went to the next multiple of 4, which was 12, and 3 can go into 12 evenly. So that's going to be the least common denominator that we are going to change 2/3 and 1/4 into. I'm going to change them both into 12s. This would make them into like fractions. So what we'll do is we will do 3. We have to see what 3 was multiplied by to get 12. 3 times 4 is 12. Since the denominator was multiplied by 4, we have to multiply the numerator by the same thing. 4 times 2 is 8. So this tells us that 2/3 is equivalent to 8/12. So down here for 1/4, say 4 times 3 would give us 12, so we have to multiply the numerator by the same number. 1 times 3 is 3. So 1/4 is equivalent to 3/12. And now 8/12 and 3/12 are what are called like fractions. They have the same denominator. Moving on to our second example, we have denominators of 8 and 24. If we start with the larger denominator, 24, we are going to list its multiples until we find one that 8 can go into evenly. The first multiple of 24 is 24. We ask ourselves, can 8 go into 24 evenly? Yes, it can, so 24 is the least common denominator. Now we have to change 7/8 into 24ths, and we have to change 11/24ths here, so we can have our like fractions. In the first fraction, 8 times 3 would give us 24, so that means we have to multiply the numerator 7 by 3 to get 21. So 7/8 is equal to 21/24. In the second fraction, we notice that the denominator stayed the same. If the denominator stayed the same, then the numerator stayed the same. In our third example, we have the denominators of 9 and 12. 12 is the higher denominator, so that's the one we're going to start with. It's the larger one. So we list its multiples until we find one that 9 can go into evenly. The first multiple of 12 is 12. 9 cannot go into 12 evenly, so we go to 12 times 2, which is 24. 9 cannot go into 24 evenly, so we go to the next multiple of 12. 12 times 3 is 36. 9 can go into 36 evenly, so we will use the least common denominator of 36. We will change 4/9 and 7/12 into 36. To do that, we have to see what 9 was multiplied by to get 36. 9 times 4 gives us 36, so we multiply the numerator by 4 as well. 4 times 4 is 16. So 4/9 equals 16/36. In 7/12, we know that 12 times 3 gives us 36, so that means we have to multiply the 7 times 3 to give us 21. So 7/12 is equal to 21/36, and 16/36 is a like fraction with 21/36 since their denominators are the same.